So what are some of the challenges that we see? Well, first of all, store layouts and product slotting are determined in a store by totally different factors than what you would be doing when you lay out a distribution centers. They're not looking at picking efficiency. They're looking at obviously point of sale and things that the consumers are going to be concerned with, product families, things like that. Small format urban stores may not be able to devote space in order to assemble orders or to make it more efficient. There are inventory tracking and accuracy challenges with the fact that you've also got a mix, of shoppers. So how do you also handle the fact that you're still going to have, if it's not a dark store, you're going to have retail shoppers still coming in that store. And one of the challenges that I've definitely seen is, how do you run a cart down a narrow aisle in a store and not affect people who are actually there to shop? So, you don't want to turn off the customers who are still coming into your brick and mortar. So really some significant challenges. So let's talk about some strategies utilized in distribution centers, which are now being applied to in-store fulfillment. Okay, so first of all, and this is what I saw in my local grocery store, first of all, is I could place an order for pickup and they would give that order, either a piece of paper or a small RF gun, to a order picker. And that order picker basically was shopping exclusively for my order. And they dedicated one of their back rooms for a place. So I would walk by that back room and there's a bunch of grocery carts back there with people's orders waiting for them to come to the cart for pickup. So that was pretty much the first iteration of, a place the order online or on the phone, and then go pick it up. Now that's obviously a loss because they're putting labor in, which normally wouldn't have been there. So how do you start to think about making it more efficient? Well, one of the things that we've done in warehouses that you could use in this environment that I've seen somewhat deployed is zone picking. So instead of going out and doing your whole shopping, split the order. Have some people do the dry goods, some people do the frozen goods. In this particular case, the example is, again, taking portions of the store, breaking it up, and shopping in those areas for each of those people. So you could put 2 people onto the order. And then what you would need to do is create a consolidation process where those pieces of the order could then come together and be consolidated, ready for pickup or shipment. And we could use some technologies which have been traditionally used in these operations, like put walls. It could be a modified put wall depending on the size and space that you have. Now, the next step is to try to make that a little more efficient. So one concept that we've used at Lucas is something called two-stage picking. And two-stage picking is you have a process where instead of going out and picking every item, you might have a group of low velocity or products that are in hard to reach places. For instance, in a grocery store, it's the items that are on the cards hanging above the aisle. Well, you don't want to, that takes extra effort. So if you have the ability to pull down some of that based on what your knowledge is in terms of your orders, you have the opportunity to save some time. And we've utilized this in many warehouses to do more batch and consolidation. The next step beyond that is to actually batch pick. So now I don't want to go out and pick one order at a time. I want to pick many orders at a time. That was where you're going to start to see real big savings in walk time. But again, you have to design carts that will allow you to have enough cubic space on them to handle the size of the orders. And then you have to have a process that's well-vetted process in place to reconsolidate them. Okay? So a step beyond the normal batch is to do something with optimization. So when you create your batch, for instance, that cart we showed a minute ago had 9 orders on it. Well, if I choose which 9 orders I put on the cart carefully, I should be able to reduce the amount of walk time that I do. And this is something that at least Lucas has done with lots of warehouses today, is creating something, we call it dynamic work optimization. The idea behind that is to look at the total walk time anticipated in each order and match up orders so that you have more commonality between them, thus reducing walk time to fulfill all of them. Okay? And we've applied different types of technology to do this. So you could do it with RFID scanning displays. You could obviously use voice to direct it, and in some cases even provide perhaps some vision capability. You can, instead of mounting a tablet on the cart, you can use the new breed of glasses that are starting to show up. So modular automation is the final step.